I am living with generalized anxiety disorder. Hello, my name is Chrissy, and this is my channel, Healing Speaks. Before I get into today's video, I just want to quickly say that if I leave anything out, don't worry. I will be making content about all of my mental illnesses in more details soon. Since I don't do edits and I just do one shot straight through, there are going to be some things I'm going to leave out. And don't worry, I plan to just keep making content in regards to all of my mental illnesses. Yesterday I talked about living with borderline personality disorder, and there was a ton of things I left out. The stories I can tell. So same thing with generalized anxiety disorder. I know there's going to be some things I'm going to leave out. So I just want to at least open up and just say what I have, talk about what it's like living with it, and then that's it. And then come back and just gradually make more content in regards to the mental illnesses and how they impact my life, if that makes sense. So don't worry if I left anything out, and if that video is too vague, I plan to make it nice and organized as possible. I got one more mental illness to discuss. So I'm on mental illness number 2, and then I'm gonna have my other video about my other mental illness coming up. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out there, that I know my video was vague from borderline personality disorder, and it may be vague for this one because like I said, there's no edits. I'm just speaking straight through from the top of my head. So I know there's going to be some things I'm going to leave out, but don't worry. My channel is still fairly new, so give me some grace. This is only my, 3rd video. So don't worry, you guys. So let's go to the video because I don't want this to be long. So I live with generalized anxiety disorder. Now, the difference between anxiety, regular anxiety, and generalized anxiety is the normal anxiety is temporary. Everybody has the normal anxiety. It's normal to have anxiety about your test, paying bills, your driver's test. That's normal anxiety. Once that stressor is done, your anxiety is gone, right? That anxiety is gone. You can move on with your life. However, if you have GAD, you are constantly, right? You hear the key word, constantly in fear or worrying about something, dwelling on something constantly. Even the unknown, your mind will just play tricks on you, and you can be having constant worry and fear of the unknown or something that's even unrealistic. It's so hard to talk about mental illness, you guys, because I'm always like walking around trying to appear to everyone just typical, and like there's nothing wrong with me. So I'm not gonna lie, it's very strange to just talk about mental illness. So generalized anxiety. So now there's a good and a bad for me. See, it's hard for me to look at the camera now because I'm talking about myself. It's hard for me to look at the camera, so I'm trying to prevent from looking down. But this is the whole point of my channel, Healing Speaks. I need to make sure that I find people that are also struggling, because mental health is real, right? We say it all the time, mental health is real, and it is. It's no joke, you guys. That's why I'm always drained. In my videos, I'm drained like this because I'm finally trying to be myself. I'm trying to allow myself to just let my symptoms take their course. Of course, as long as I'm safe and I'm not harming anyone. So my energy is just so... Usually I'm a very bubbly person. I kid you not. I'm so bubbly, but right now my energy is just not all the way there. But anyways, there's a good and a bad to my GAD. Now, it's very unrealistic to say that I don't mind having GAD when it comes down to people. I am very people sensitive. I'm very observant. I have to listen to what you say, how you move. I need to see that. I mentioned in my video, borderline personality disorder, that I barely had interaction with people in my childhood. I was always in the house with my siblings. So that did a lot to people relations growing up. So because of that, my anxiety as well, I got the anxiety thing going on. So I'm very fearful of people. And I think that's why I'm extra happy. I'm extra cheerful. And I mentioned putting on this happy suit in my other video, the borderline personality disorder video. I'm always masked. You know, we wear a mask, right? I know a lot of us, we always talk about wearing a mask, especially because we don't want to be figured out. We don't want to, like for me, personally, I don't want to navigate through this world as if something's wrong with me or what's wrong with her. So I put on the front that everything's like okay when I know it's not. So anyways, I think that's why I'm always a cheerful person around people, because I fear people, because people are unpredictable to me. They're unpredictable, even the nice ones. So I try to figure people out, and that's tiring doing that. It's tiring to like look at people and to observe them and to try to figure people out. That can be so exhausting. But going back to the point with GAD and people, I kind of like that I have GAD when it comes down to people relations, because I feel like I'm one step ahead for like danger wise, like, because I'm very alert, because of the constant worry, right? The constant worry, the constant fearing that I have in my head. But then my thoughts, then I start like, oh, this person's going to do something. See, then the catastrophe starts kicking in though. That's when it's like uh-oh. This is why I know for sure that it's not okay to want to have GAD. It's okay to have the typical anxiety, not the GAD type of anxiety. But like I said, that type of anxiety though does help me stay on my toes. But it's not okay to constantly worrying and constantly fearing. That is stressful to the body. I know it is. It is very stressful to the body. As you can see, I am showing physical signs of fatigue. And there is something in my eye too. So that's why I'm squinting. So that's another reason why I was squinting and stuff, my eye. But it's very tiring. So the constant worry, the constant fearing of people, it's not okay thinking that something's going to happen to you because that person maybe looked at you funny. I don't like looking at people in their eyes. That's the thing I can't stand, because, you know, the eyes is the soul, the window to the soul. And I have this thing where I cannot stand looking at strangers in their eyes. When I walk past people, I don't look at them in their eyes, because it's like an invite. I feel like the moment I look at someone, they say, hi, how you doing? Or, hey, good morning. Hi, good night. Or they ask you questions. Hi, what's your name? And that only happens the moment I look at someone. So I tend to not do eye contact because I'm just fearful like that. And the anxiety. I don't like looking at people's eyes. I wish I can wear shades, but I can't because I wear glasses. But I know they have glasses that can look like shades, but I don't like those. I don't like glasses that turn to shades. So that's what it's like. So generalized anxiety is not fun. To have a constant worrying. It don't even have to be something that happened to you. If something happened to someone else, I'm going to dwell on that. I'm going to think I'm next. That it's going to happen to me next. That's why I don't like the news. I don't like clicking on YouTube, because you know how you click on one video on YouTube and YouTube recommends relatable content to what you clicked on. So I try not to think about the news. If somebody was like, I have this one coworker who was always, love the news. Oh, I saw this on the news. And I'm just like, really? Why are you sharing that? I don't like hearing that. That stuff makes me, it makes me think about it over and over again for so long. And it's just, I don't like that. What's another thing? So like I said, I don't want to go into how it impacts my daily life, because I want to make this video just talking about what's it like living with it. And then, like I said, there will be more content when I go into more details. Okay. But that's all I can really say about living with generalized anxiety disorder. It's just a constant worry. That's what it is in a nutshell, you guys. People with GAD, we are always worried. We're always in fear. It's excessive thoughts of even fear of unknown, unrealistic things. Okay. The thoughts and just dwelling on stuff. So it can be tiring. Like I said, I don't mind having the whole with strangers, with the relationships of strangers having GAD, but still it can be unrealistic though, because GAD is also known as like higher scale level of anxiety, a higher scale. We want to have the normal scale of anxiety, which is like anxiety 1 through 5. I think anything above 5 is just wow. Anxiety above on a scale 1 through 10, anxiety above 5 is a wow. GAD is like anxiety above 10, and it's constantly a 10 and up. That's what it's like to have GAD, to be honest. So it's the worrying. Like worry every time I leave my house, I'm worried. When I leave my job, I'm worried. When I leave the market, I'm worried. If I'm on my way to the market, I'm worried. You see what I'm saying? Constantly fear. It's just land. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to go into details with stories. I just want to say that that's what it's like. And so like I said, I try my best not to like think of it as a positive, because it's not positive. GAD is not positive. But that's sometimes where my mind goes. My mind takes it like, oh, I'm kind of glad I have GAD when it comes down to people. No, that's not even, I need to tell myself, no, that's not okay. So that is about it. I know, like I said, I know I left out a lot, but stay tuned for more content in regards to the mental illnesses that I discuss. I have one more that I would like to talk about that I struggle with. And then that is it. And then I will start making some more content. Like I said, I want to quickly say the direction of my channel is really live streams. Healing Speaks is more for like live streams. But since my channel is new, I cannot go live yet on my phone. I can go live on my computer, because that's where my live stream panel. I have a group panel already designed. I plan to bring people up and we just talk about topics that I have already, planned, or we can talk about our mental illnesses. I have that panel ready already on my computer, but I do want to go live at least on my phone. But I can't because my channel is still new, and I believe I need about 50 subscribers, I think, in order to go live on my phone. So that is all. So if you like my content and you want to see its growth, please be sure to subscribe, and of course hit that bell so that you'll know when I upload content. And then make sure you like the video, at least if you don't benefit from, if you think you don't benefit from this channel, but you made it this far, at least like the video. So that is all that I have. I talked about having borderline personality disorder, and now I talked about living with generalized anxiety disorder. And then I have one more to talk about. So if you want to see what that is, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That is all that I have. And I'll see you guys in the next one.